James Kaufman, World News Report today. Today's August 24th, 2023, 2 p.m. Central here in the U.S. God bless you and yours no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a lot of activity with Earth's electromagnetic shield here. You can see that we've seen spiking since around 1300 UTC time. That translates to about 6 a.m. Central Time here, and the spiking is ongoing. We have some spikes that appear to reach or exceed the 400 Hertz level, and we see that this is going on through about 1900 UTC time. The model is not quite up to date, but this translates to about noon Central today. So 6 hours of activity, and we're not able to see about the last hour and a half. What does it usually mean if we see this kind of activity with our electromagnetic shield? It seems to always mean that the Schumann resonance is going to be very active. And here we see just that, starting on top of the geophones. Some of them go off the charts there. We're headed down and looking at the activity on the Schumann resonance. We've had several long-term spikes that went well over 105 Hertz, where this model actually ends. This started, as we discussed, right before 1300 UTC time. 1800 would be right about here. We're into about 1900, still running a bit behind real time. We'll see if it's real time on the 6-day comparison. But again, very heavy Schumann resonance spiking off the charts here, August 24th, 2023. All right, looking at a 6-day comparison, this has come on heavy. Now, I believe I know what the agitator is, but you can see that this has been ongoing since about 1245 UTC time. It's now about 1900 UTC time, at least on this model, slightly past that real time. But we're still spiking off the charts with really no signs whatsoever that this is going to let up. Although I think that we will have just that happen. Taking a look at our geophones themselves, we see it start to light up right at 1300. That was a pretty good call. 1400, 1500. Each line represents an hour split into 15-minute increments. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, up to 1800 UTC time. Again, not completely up to date, but just slightly running late. Taking a look at our actual amplitudes, what do we see? Right here, 1245, 1300 UTC time. Everything reacts. All of our equipment, our geophones, our ULF noise sensors, our ELF noise sensors, our second SR frequency dips hard, and this is an ongoing event. It looks like it's trying to let off, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Now, what was the agitator for this? If y'all recall, CERN is down here, and we have a beam finally expected the middle of next week for the first time in 3 or 4 months, as they had an accident in the machine. The LHC, Large Hadron Collider, was leaking. That can't be good. We'll take a look at the space weather environment currently. These are our KP indexes, which help us determine if we're in a solar storm of any sort. We're looking at our Boulder KP index, our Fredericksburg KP index, our estimated planetary index, and our college index, and there are no signs or indications of any space weather or solar weather striking Earth according to these KP indexes. Now, usually what I see is when we do have space weather, our Schumann resonance does not go off. It's just the opposite. This tends to build up our magnetosphere, and when we do get an agitator over some of these monitoring stations, they're able to go higher into the atmosphere, returning to hit all of our sensors, well, with less reinforcement, with less energy. So I will inform you if space weather does cause one of these Schumann resonance spikes, but thus far, for the last few weeks, it's always been the same thing, lightning storms over the Italian modeling station. Let's go take a look at that. Then we're going to discuss string theory and the reason that these stronger spikes might actually be helping, causing human race, this whole world that we live in, to move on to a higher dimension, because all dimensions are higher vibrations and frequencies. All right, moving over Italy, and we all know that the monitoring station is right here. We see that there's a very large electrical storm that just moved through. We will take a look at that movement there as soon as it loads. Looks like it's moving to the, well, to the east, maybe the east-northeast. And you can see that there's activity over the area of our modeling station along with lightning popping off, although the lightning is more intense to the north here. We will zoom into that modeling station here. Shouldn't be too difficult for us. Should be located right here within, and there it is right there, within the thunderstorm currently itself right now. So I think this will clear up the Schumann resonance spikes as soon as this moves through. But because of all the lightning and activity associated with this storm, we're seeing Schumann resonance spiking hard at this modeling station. This is our agitator and has been several times in a row. Now, a lot of people don't know what string theory is. They don't know what superstring theory is, or M theory, or the bosonic string theory. But basically, they're theories that dimensions exist at different vibrations and frequencies. And our latest string theory, the bosonic string theory, actually indicates that there are 26 space-time dimensions. And that is by far, well, the most mathematically proven equation. At first, we thought there were 10 or 11. The latest theories point to 26 dimensions, although dimensions could be infinite. Most of y'all know that we believe that we're living in the fourth dimension, which means we can see anything below that, 3D, 2D, or 1D. They say graphite is 1D. I don't believe that anything is 1D, even a mark of a pen on a piece of paper. I think that it would have width, but that is my opinion. Now, string theory says, and all the string theories say, that the higher your vibration and frequency, the higher dimension you're in. So we could have someone sitting next to us in the fifth or sixth dimension, but we'd not be able to see them in any way, although they could see down into our fourth dimension. So these are string theory basics. Everything in the universe is oscillating of tiny vibrating strings. Characterized size, minimum observable length for quantum string theory, string tension, open string, stranded particles, closed string, gravitations. Basically, all this says is the higher your frequency and vibration, the higher your dimension. And it's been proven that other dimensions exist if this dimension exists. With that said, God bless you and yours. It does mean that these spikes in the Schumann resonance could be helping this world ascend to a higher dimension. Share, subscribe, and always remember, anything's possible in Bizarro World.